think it's Ronaldo that called
How did he
him
not
out
find
and
a
said,
Yes, people. Honest Rivals in the building, episode 23. Man, I've just been messing up, man. I messed up with the intro. I messed up with my other link as well. Oh, my God. 50 things to do once in a lifetime. Don't mess up your streams. Anyway, people, yeah. I'm joined today with special guest, DWTT in the building. Yeah, we're going to chop it up, man. We're going to
Hello, Abs. Hello, everybody in the chat. All right.
If you noticed, my partner in crime's not here today. Obviously, he's still on holiday mode at the moment, so hopefully he'll be back next week. But big up to him anyway. So big up to Hanno on holiday, HOH. But yeah, man, big up to Mr. Tom. He's joined Gary on Honest Rivals. Big up to you, Mr. Tom. I think you're one of Gary's guys. Gary puts a special guest, of course, definitely. So yeah, man, probably just going to talk about some of the games this week, because obviously we had some big games, some big upsets yesterday in the Premier League on Boxing Day, and obviously we'll talk about the game later on tonight, which starts in just over an hour. The big one, obviously, our team's playing Ipswich tonight, the Tractor Boys. We'll talk about that in a bit. Big up to Chelsea fan in the building as well. But of course, we need to talk about one of our favourite ops, and it's really sad to see, but I don't care. And I'm loving their demise, because when we had our demise, or we're still in some kind of demise because we've not won no trophies, they were laughing at us, and they still remain they still laugh at us, But Man United, they're in some different weird mode at the moment. What is going on with Man United? Everyone's blaming the players. The manager's just like, coming out of all stuff like, I shouldn't have chose this team, and, Rashford's, being, just, you better find another club, basically, Are you getting Arteta vibes from this Amorim at the start of his career?
One reason why I am is because we knew that our squad wasn't it. Starting 11, backups, depth, anything you could think of, we knew we had lots of questions to be answered, right? So thanks guys for joining. But like I feel he's going to go through the same thing Arteta did, right? Remember that first half season, Arteta finished 8th, and I said, you know what? I was saying to my, some of my friends, we're going to get better, but we might not improve in the table. One, because we have so many questions that need to be answered by the squad, by the coaching. I mean, I think Amorim has to get used to the Premier League, but I believe based on his experience, he'll catch on pretty quickly, or else he'll be gone. But I think he'll catch on because Manchester United will give him, the players that he needs to see fit with however he wants to do it. So I kind of feel like you could see it that first game. He tried a couple of things, and you looked at the players, and you're like, these players can't do either what he's asking. And for me, I always said the best coaches, the best managers are those that don't have to say, you know what, if I don't get my players, I can't perform, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see if he's going to basically go, I'm trying, but it's not working. So let me just get what I can out of this squad. Meanwhile, I'll build for later, right? Some managers have this thing in their head. I'm just going to play my way, and these players are going to have to they're going to have to adhere to it. And guess what? At some point, you're like, these guys, they can't do whatever he's asking. I don't think he doesn't have talented players in that squad, but he's not using them the correct way, and it's just going to take time. So I think even if he gets better, the squad is so void of what he needs. It's going to take a bit of time to catch up. So um, I think it's the same kind of thing that Arteta had to go through, except for I don't think Arteta had a style. Right? He didn't have his style. He was copying someone, right? And he's copying if he was a seasoned manager, he would know he can't copy Pep, but he tried. He tried.
Oh man,
you can't copy Pep if you don't have the funds to go with it and the recruiting and everything else that comes with it. I mean, think about it. Arteta's second in command at some point. Like, he doesn't have that right now, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have that guy right now. At least I haven't seen it enough. I think Jova is the only one that, for me, to shine consistently, right? Otherwise, the other managers are there, but none of them seem to be at least their bit of the pie is working well. Their bit of whatever they bring is working well, right? I mean, defensively we're sound, but I kind of feel like that's an Arteta thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but offensively, we still got questions that need to be answered, right? So yeah, I think going back to Emery, I think he's going to need time. They're going to give it to him. I think you don't take him, bring him in mid-season and then not give him. He's going to need at least a season and another 2 seasons to figure out if it's going to work. But
a few more transfer windows as well. So
yeah.
But let's talk about the game yesterday. I watched that game yesterday, and I just wasn't impressed with Man United, because they create chances, but they just cannot finish. And obviously, maybe it's down to the lack of quality within the team and stuff like that. But you would think they have enough players, or at least enough quality, to beat a team like Wolves. I saw Cunha running rings around some of their midfielders. Some of their players, Semedo, he looked decent yesterday. Jose or Sar, whatever his name was, in goal. He was excellent in goal. And for me, obviously Wolves under the lights, new manager bounce, etc. But you think a manager of Amorim's quality would be able to get the best out of what he has. And for me, that first goal, that Olympica they call it, I never even knew that was a thing, the name, that corner from the corner, was shocking. Shocking defending, shocking. And I never felt that throughout that game. And big up to Anthony Herbert we're going to read your comments soon. Big up to Anthony Herbert and one of my boys. I never felt that Man United was going to score.
Yep. Yep. No, well, and this is me saying I feel like if Bruno Fernandes is your leader, your talisman, the one you're supposed to lean on, you're going to struggle. Because he's not. I mean, is he carrying that team? I think you got to they need to get the little things right. Not even like you said. Like we beat them by what, set pieces?
Yeah.
Have they even? Does it seem like they've even worked on any of that since? I mean, I think over the last since that game, if you want to score in Manchester United, you just wait for a corner or a free kick. I mean, they're then that's the little thing. So I think he's got to go back to the drawing board with this squad. If and he didn't have the time. This is where those seasoned managers just come in and go, you know what? Wow, I got to do the little things right. And you bring up all those names from Wolves. They've been competing all season. All right, you've heard Semedo's name, you've heard Kuna's name all season. They've been out there doing work, right? I mean, people talking about bringing them into their squads, right? So that's the difference. Our Manchester United has, they have a 22-man team. They don't have a squad. They don't have a 22-man squad, right? They just got players out there, and it's going to take some time. I think it's going to take some time, and you're seeing it. Like I said, I feel like he's going to have to, do exactly the opposite of what he really wants to do. Like think about this. When Arteta came in, he had like 6 months he worked with that squad. And what did he do? He just did whatever he could to get across the line with whatever he had. At some point, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to try to play your style. It's not working. They can't, he looks frustrated to me. Can these guys do what I want? And the answer is no. So at some point, just get them to get across the line, right? Get them to get across the line, and and then you can work on yourself, right? So Bargav joined as well. Arsenal Misfit, thanks Stephen for joining us. Thank you guys all checking out. I guess you guys have been starving for some football chatter, so good to see you here. So yeah, I see Hanno in the chat, but yeah, no, they're not playing as one. They're not 11-man squad. They're 11 players on the pitch. And maybe they're less than that. Maybe they have segments of the team that are doing what he wants and segments that aren't. But as a squad, they're not getting it. They're not going to be able to get it done the way they're set up. I mean, they had a couple of like new manager bounces to start. But what are they now? They've played 7, lost 5. Right? And we've seen like Manchester is going through a struggling time. There's no winning football there right now. Both the squads are struggling. Both for different reasons. So, yeah, no, that game looked like one team that had been playing for a bit together and actually are, going to, understand what the manager wants and actually going to get it done. And the other one looks like a squad that it's going to take some time. He's new, all right. He's a new one to this. So, yeah.
Big up
so
big up to my co-host, Hanno. Obviously, he's away at the moment. But yeah, looking forward to next week when we've got our show. Just got another guest. Shout out to Mr. NJ in the building. Sorry, man. Do you know what? I'm doing admin and everything today, man. Because you know what? It's usually Mr. H that does all of this, man. But oh man, he's left me hanging, man. Pause. It's just like.
The way Chelsea, his team left him hanging, he just left you hanging as well.
I know, man. It's just.
Is that why he's not here? You said he's out here because he's on vacation. Maybe he's feeling that pain we were feeling years ago, right? You have a little bit of a good blip, a good time, and next thing you know, oh no, this is not good, right? They've dropped points in 2 of 3 games now. They've had a chance to cut into a lead and they haven't been able to do it. So, yeah.
Well, don't worry, he's going to get his cooking.
It's growing.
He'll get his cooking when I see him. He'll get his cooking. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So, NJ, we're just talking about the Man United meltdown yesterday. Obviously, Bruno got a red card, his 3rd red card of the season.
This season.
He's equal record with arguably one of their best defenders, centre backs ever. Nemanja Vidic. Vidic. What got to say about that, man? Bruno, he's the captain. What's going on with this guy?
Me personally, I just think that the people should finally acknowledge, and I hate to bring my club into this, that he's nowhere near KDB. I saw 2021. Yeah, he had a season with he had that season with 50 GA, and everyone were like, yeah, he's up there with KDB, his chance creation, his vision. But
nasty work.
If we're being honest, without really that Hollywood pass that he tries it like 30 times a game and it works maybe like once. Without that, Bruno's is no better than Scott McTominay, if you ask me. He is no better than Scott McTominay for Man United.
Ouch.
And
ouch.
Man United should be looking at this 1st of January and thinking, yeah, get some players in, some players that suit Amarim's style, because we can see what he's trying to do, but it's clearly not working out with the players. I think these players do not have the talent which is needed for Man United. The standards have dropped so badly in Man United squad, and yeah, it's just another season. Ten Hag started it poorly. Amarim's inherited Ten Hag squad, so they can just forget this season for now. But they have to look in January, getting new players. And Bruno cannot be the guy to build the squad, the team around. He has been made captain time ago, but I think that armband has to get stripped because performance-wise, he doesn't play like a captain. Attitude-wise, he doesn't play like a captain. So he has his brilliant moments once in a while, but then these types of things are just like you're letting your team down. And to relegation side Wolves with a new manager, it's just not good enough. And then even the set piece thing, we've said it. I think they got rattled when Arsenal did it against them, but it's not only Arsenal. Every team is scoring set pieces against them. Every team is. So it's an issue in the team. Like, I don't know if they don't have a set piece coach, but yeah, it's just not good enough. Yeah.
Just put 8 players on the line. If they can score, you know what I mean? Just put everybody on the line, let the goalkeeper stand in front, and then like if they score on you, then you know what? That's a really good header. You know, it's a really good cross. But otherwise,
but you know, Maguire, yeah, he's going to tell everyone to move off the line. If you saw, I think there was one meme or something where I don't know whether it's the Arsenal game when he was like ushering everyone to do whatever, and then Saliba just pops up and just in the corner. Yeah, they're shocking, man. So what are they in 14th place now? Big Man United in 14th place. Are they worth even speaking about? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like Big Man United are in 14th place, yeah. Same amount of losses, I believe, as Ipswich Town. I don't even want to talk about this team. We're moving on. I don't want to talk about them. Yeah. Right. Next team. They said they weren't in the title race. Yeah. But every week, you're hearing they got the best midfielder. They got the best attack. They got the best squad. Yeah. To rival with any team in the league. They even was talking about their manager. You know, my partner was saying he loves it. He loves the manager. That's what I was hearing. You know, but Fulham, 2-mile drive or whatever down the road. You know, the original Fulham, yeah, because Chelsea are in Fulham as we believe, yeah. Fulham went to Fulham Broadway. You know, these men were winning 1-0. We're thinking, all right, you know, Chelsea 1-0 to the Chelsea, yeah. See out the game. And guess what? Fulham done a dump in Fulham Broadway. And now these men are saying, well, we weren't in the title race anyway. So I told you so. I told you Jackson wasn't the man. But all we was hearing was Jackson scored this amount. Jackson's got GA. Sancho's doing bits. And, you know, Sancho's best dribbler in the league. Palmer's the best player, midfielder, which, you know what, I can agree with. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying, to a point. But look at them now. Talk on it, man. Talk on this Chelsea team. Obviously, they're still in second, and we've got to win our game tonight. We have to win tonight, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But talk on Chelsea. Anyone of you can go.
I completely agree. The team that was laughing at Arsenal for being above Arsenal based on goal difference, for going above Arsenal based on points, trying to play the humble card. Yeah, we're not in a title race. And then obviously Liverpool had their Everton game postponed. And now we can go clear. We can go first to get that screenshot. Yeah, we're top of the league. Everton comes, they draw. Fulham comes, they lost. They basically lost to their landlord. That Stamford Bridge, which is in Fulham, they lost to their landlords. And this is the team that they laughed at Arsenal for drawing. But I'm here to give Fulham credit because Fulham is a serious team. They have good players. They have a good coach. I think the first half, yeah, Chelsea were better. I think even Jackson should have scored. Same like in the Everton game, by the way. Jackson, always missing his big chances. Same like in the Everton game. And yeah, Cole Palmer, moment of brilliance. I think there isn't a day where I don't regret this man leaving my club, but that's aside now. And then Chelsea just didn't do anything. I mean, second half, with time, Fulham progressed more, pressed higher, and I feel like they deserve to win. I feel like they deserve to win. And Chelsea might be not yet there for like week in, week out, consistently winning games, even these types of games. But I think they should not forget that under Poch, this would have been a clear loss. Even under Poch, the game against Everton would have been a clear loss. So they've improved. They should be content with where they are, and they're going to move down to third. What's it today evening? But yeah.
Well, hold on. We have to win, bro. There's no guarantee that we're going to win. And people can say Ipswich and whatever, but that we'll talk about that in a bit. We will talk about that in a bit. So, DWT, chime in on this, man. Chime in on the Chelsea, the Chelsea hype,
Yeah, Chelsea's been winning and getting results because they've been the most talented team. Also, when they've played most of the games that they played this year, but the problem has always been, for me anyways, that their defense is suspect. Yeah, if teams are a little bit better, more clinical, they wouldn't have won as many games. They benefited from that, as they should. But as soon as teams were able to slow them down, and then we've seen it in the last 2 or 3 games that they played going towards the end of it. They could have, they definitely could have lost, some of those games that they actually. If you look at the games that they won against, I don't like saying that name, but I just call them that team from North London that we don't like as Arsenal fans. They went ahead. What is it? They went ahead 3-1 on them and let them come back, but they still had opportunities. And in the previous game, they could have lost that one as well. So for me, their defense has always been suspect. When they're not clicking offensively, this is what it looks like. It looks like that, right? They take a 1-0 lead into like the last third of the game, and a team that seasoned would finish that off, or at least maintain, right? They weren't able to even hold on to a point, and defensively just couldn't hold up under the Fulham pressure. But once again, Fulham's doing this with players that we've seen them been doing it all year. Wilson's just he's just been, that's what he does, right? Wilson's just been doing it. Is it Harry Wilson?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
he's been doing it all season, right? So they had no answers for that, and defensively they were gonna struggle anyways, and we're seeing it now. So they're gonna have to, if January window opens up and they need a defensive player, that's where they should go. But yeah, no, I'm not. For me, it was their defense is always going to let them down because it's not where it needs to be. Not all the talent that they've got defensively in the midfield, they're all right, but on that back line, defensively, I don't think it's where they need to be. So
yeah,
that's what we've been seeing. That's what we saw against Fulham. I mean, you're up 1-0 late in a game like that, you should be able to close that out, and they couldn't. Either close it out with your attacking or close it out with your defense. They couldn't do either. So now it's not, for me, it's not a surprise. I kind of was sitting there going, eventually the defense will not hold up, and I didn't realize it was going to be the offense that didn't really hold up, because that's been the problem. The offense is just, they get a goal here and there, but they're not getting these 3 and 4 goals that they were getting before, and that's going to be an issue for them. I mean, you see when a team struggles to score against Arsenal, they don't get anything to begin with, and then when they struggle, that means it's an easier case for us to get something out of it. But Chelsea, not yet. They're going to need time. I mean, he's going to probably have to go out there and get some defensive support. But yeah, I think Arsenal and Chelsea is where they are just because of it's one of those type of seasons, right? Nobody's been able to run away with it except for Liverpool. I mean, look where Man City is. Look where Manchester United. Look where Aston Villa is. I mean, Nottingham Forest is sitting third right now. You know, you start the season off. Would you have said Nottingham Forest would be up there? You know, sitting in that position. Newcastle, I think we probably saw that, but Bournemouth. I mean, these are all teams in the top 6, right? We struggled against Bournemouth, right? And look where they are. They're sitting 6th. So yeah, they got a red card to help them, but they've won nonetheless, right? So I think every time you see Arsenal struggle against a team, a lot of times it's not because Arsenal had a bad day; it's because that team isn't that bad, you know. And if you struggle against them, they could get something on you. So, you know, teams, the most consistent teams are sitting right where they need to be, right? Nottingham Forest has had one blip, I think, you know, and that was against us. Otherwise, they've been pretty consistent, you know, when they got
And
on this
against
run.
us as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. True.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Do you know there's a comment here? Sorry to cut you guys. There's a comment here from Chelsea fans saying that
And I was gonna get onto that. Yeah.
Maresca, he only made like one sub. Yeah. What's that all about?
Yeah. I also think Maresca, I give him huge credit because his in-game management has been good. Literally, in my opinion, he got it spot on nearly in every game of the season so far. But these last 2 games are where I have to question him because similar in the Everton game, they needed a goal to win the game, and he didn't take off the players I think he should have taken off because Neto in the Everton game was the best attacker. Cole Palmer ghosted, was non-existent. Sancho had a hard time against a 39-year-old Ashley Young. And even Jackson in the first half.
Martinelli had a struggle against Ashley Young. So, you know what? Whatever the Ashley Young's drinking or eating, it's working. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He's about to play against his son, right? So, man, that's unbelievable. But like I said, I didn't think Neto should have been taken off because Neto was the one that was looking lively, winning like fouls and all these stuff. And now you take him off and bring on Nkunku and a Madueke, who Madueke's decision-making was poor in that Everton game. And then again, against Fulham, you concede, you want to win the game, you're at home, and you bring on Nkunku. Why? And that's just my opinion. Why don't you bring on a João Felix? You know he's good in the pockets, tight spaces. Obviously his career hasn't turned out as it was set out or put out to be, but he still has these moments in him. And I think a player of his profile would have definitely been better in the end-to-end game as it was the last 15 minutes. And that's where I think he might have got it wrong. And then I'd even go as far to say, why didn't he bring on Mark Gui? Because he scored a hat-trick. He's on confidence. He maybe might do something. Because Jackson, he scores his goals here and there, and he had a great start to the season. But these big chances he's missing, I spoke to my cousin earlier, and he's starting to get fed up with him because he's a Chelsea fan. He supports Jackson, but he always misses a few chances before he scores a decent goal. And it won't get to the point where you have enough chances to score like 1 out of 5 every game, which is why Maresca managed it wrong this time with the substitutions. And then, I think one positive, which is a negative as well, is that Chelsea have an unbelievable young squad. Their squad is so young, which just shows in the way they play is very attacking, very energetic. They are probably not scared of any opponent. They just try and do their thing. But then the inexperience in the defense, you can see it. Against Everton, Disasi was shaky. And then even this week again, obviously he didn't play, but I just think the backline didn't look too good. Colwell at times very, very poor. Just not the best awareness on the pitch. And even Pedro Neto, I think that's poor from him where they concede the equalizer. And then even Malo Gusto was all over the place, but not defending the cross by Robinson. And then from then on, I just saw that I think Fulham might get away with a win, and they did. So that is really credit to Marco Silva. Yeah.
Definitely. Sorry, man. I'm just trying to put you lots of links in the description. I'm just doing some stupidness. But yeah. Do you know what? It's Chelsea dropping points obviously is, good for us, I suppose. But we're gonna move on to talking about Liverpool, because obviously they beat Leicester 3-1, and at the moment, no one's stopping Liverpool at the moment. I can't see them slowing down. I know they had 2 draws last couple of weeks previously, but they're not stopping at the moment. And what you guys saying about Liverpool at the moment, man?
They're well, one you can't take your foot off the gas. Let's just say that. I mean, you score in the first 10 minutes against them, you can't hold on for the next 80 minutes, taking your foot off the gas, sitting back, letting them get all the possession and not actually putting any threat on their back line. You can't do that. That's what they did. Went up early, and I sat there. I was like, well, how are they going to hold up for 83 minutes? And no, they couldn't do that, right? Come into they give up a goal late, pretty much the last kick of the first half. And everybody basically said, that's it. You had your chance. You have to keep putting some pressure on them if you get a lead on them. They played a full 90. That's the one thing they've been doing. I don't think there's many teams out there that play a full 90 these days that we've been watching. I mean, a lot of them will take off the first half. They may come back in the second half, but they're playing the whole half. I mean, they could have scored 3 goals in that first half. As many, you've seen, those, there had to be some nice saves, balls, I think, off the post and the crossbar. I think, they had opportunities. That game could have been over. They just weren't able to get the ball across the line until late in that first half. But yeah, no, he's got them playing. And I said this in a couple of chats. He trusts them. They trust him. And that's the way they play. Don't matter what the score line is. We see it every week, right? They go down a goal, don't matter. They go down a man and a goal, don't matter. Other team is having their way with them for a bit, doesn't matter. And then you add on the fact that Van Dijk and Salah and Ella and the goalkeeper and all of them, like they've got, and Trent's putting the ball where it needs to be pretty much every game. All right. I mean, so they're playing the best football right now in England and probably in Europe for sure. So yeah, and it's clicking. The only, like, Konate, I thought would hinder them a little bit, and we kind of seen it because teams been able to score on them. All right, but you have to continue to play them. I mean, we surprised them when we played them at home. All right. If we continue to put pressure on them, maybe we get something. Maybe we get the win out of that game, and that was with us missing players, right? But when you don't play them for 90 minutes, that's what it looks exactly what happened. That was basically a 5-1 game, Liverpool's way. They just couldn't get the ball across in that first half, and that's why it was close.
Yeah,
but they're playing some good football. I mean, he's on 30 goal contributions in the Premier League right now. Salah, right? He doesn't look like he's slowing down. Doesn't look like he's slowing down at all, right? And I'm surprised he's played as many minutes as he have the way some of these games have gone. Right? I think he played into like the 80th minute, and they were up 3-1 or 3-0 in a game prior to the ones that we've seen, but. So they're going to have to, I think they have to just manage him. Can Van Dijk, I think Konate out, Van Dijk's been class, right? Can he hold that up for the whole season? We'll see. I mean, I feel like he's old and he might wear down a bit, but they might not matter. It might not matter, you know what I mean? Because nobody's been able to cut into their lead when they've had an opportunity, So case in point, where they're sitting, 7 points right now? Hopefully it'll be what is it, 6 by the time we finish our game today, and then they still got game in hand on everybody. So it's like you got to play. This is the same thing we saw before when City was, you got to play perfect football. You can't drop anywhere.
Mm.
Right. So, and that's going to be the same thing again. It's going to be the same thing again because they have a lot to play with, right? They got a lot of, they've run away with it right now. They can hold on to it if they continue to play the way they have. And like everybody else, they have a January window if they need to add some more fuel to the fire. They got, they can't because they didn't spend anything, right? They spent nothing. They brought a player in. Chaser, he can't even get off the bench right now. I don't know if he's part health and all of that, but they can still upgrade like everybody else can. So that's only going to help them. So yeah, no, they're looking good. See Anthony there from Early Doors. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, big up Tony, man. Early Doors and that, man. Yeah, I was just about to shout him, but I was just waiting for you guys to.
No, I think Liverpool right now is playing. I mean, they're playing the way I was hoping my team would play. Right?
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And playing, not necessarily. We don't have a Salah, but as a squad, I think we can compete with them. But we haven't been able to play as 11 in consistent games back to back to back. So it's been a struggle.
Yeah. I think I agree with Gary. Even me, I already congratulated Liverpool on winning the Premier League weeks ago. I think when they beat us, I just congratulated them because I've seen a team, which I saw in the 1920 season, just beating teams, whether it's dominating, whether it's outscoring, coming from behind, they just win their games. And I think it can start with credit from FSG because they picked up Klopp. And then out of nowhere from Feyenoord, they picked up Arne Slot, and I never expected him to be this good. I thought there would be a Liverpool downfall, but instead it's my club on a downfall. But Liverpool this season, they are literally a team that controls the game and can do this attacking, quick football like they did last season under Klopp. And another thing where I think Arne Slot has even improved the players compared to under Klopp is that he has made players turn out even better. The likes of Gakpo. I think he was playing centrally. Sometimes he was playing in midfield under Klopp. But now, ever since he's played under Slot, he's on that wing and he is a winger in that sense that he can cut in, he can shoot. At times, he's at the back post to head the ball in. We've seen it. He's scoring. And even the rotation, he gets it correct. Last midweek, he had Szoboszlai starting. Szoboszlai had an unbelievable game. In my opinion, man of the match, goals and assists all over the pitch. Now he starts Curtis Jones, and then Curtis Jones has a great game. And even Trent, why I think Trent was always being discredited was his defending, but I think he's even improved in that sense. So all these things with a manager that knows how to improve the team, because I think even first half and second half were two different games, where in the first half was a bit of spamming crosses into the box, forcing that goal because, we went behind in 6 minutes at Anfield. We want to equalize quickly. But in the second half, they controlled the game more. They picked out literally the passes, whether they'll play forward or just take their time. And I think then they even had higher pass percentage and all these types of things. And I just think that if a manager's there that shows them, that leads them, and they trust in him and the results show it, I don't think that they'll drop off. I don't think that any team can stop them. Yes, they'll still lose a few games this season, but that won't stop them from keep doing their thing. And with Liverpool, I think Konate being out, Joe Gomez is doing a good job as well. So, I mean, once Conor Bradley's back in January, if Trent's out, he can play as well. Kwanzaa comes in time and again. So it's just maybe they might need another midfielder. And yeah, that's it. Then maybe an attacker that can score besides Salah, because I don't think that Salah's going to keep that form across the entire season. It's going to go on to score, but the ratio he's moving at right now, I don't think he'll be able to sustain it the entire season. But Liverpool are just, they're unbelievable. But I still do think that Arsenal have to keep applying pressure. Chelsea as well, as good as they can, because they have a game in hand, but that game in hand always has to be played. And that game in hand is Everton. So Everton drew to Chelsea, Arsenal, and to us, I would not be surprised if they draw at Goodison Park to Everton as well. But yeah, Liverpool are really good.
You know, Liverpool's last 5 games or 4 games can be a bit tricky. You know, I think they got Chelsea, they got us. They got we might have.
Oh, they got you lot.
Yeah, there's a few tricky games in there, and they got Forest as well. We know, like,
oh yeah, Forest away won't be easy. Forest away.
Yeah, Forest seem to be doing their thing as well. So let's touch on Forest quickly before we talk on City. But Forest, man, who would have expected them to be third? I would have thought they would have been third on the other side of the table, on the lower side of the table. But Nuno, he's doing something at the moment, man. What is he drinking? What the man smoking in the Forest, bro? Because
I was gonna say, for me, Nuno was showing us things when he was at Wolves, right? I mean, they beat us soundly, not soundly, but they beat us a couple of times, years ago. And when he went to that team, the team from North London, you know what I'm talking about, with the chicken and the egg on the egg or the ball, whatever you call it. But when he went there, I thought they were going to do things a little different. I thought they were going to go. For me, this is what they should have done. Buy Harry, buy Son. Let's start over again. They weren't going to go further with those two players at that point unless they were going to do everything right, and they needed a lot of work. So I thought that would have been the best thing to do, and they didn't give Nuno a chance. That's my dad. He's actually in London right now. So thanks for joining us on the show.
Hi, Pops. Hope you're well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's love. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So I think Nuno's he's just, for me, he's shown consistency in the way that he's been coaching teams, and he's got, I think Nottingham Forest, they were rebuilding anyways, right? They, just to get into the league, they were using a lot of loan players, and I think they've been able to mold it according to whatever manager comes in. Probably the best situation there, get into Premier League with all that seed money and then be able to build on it the way they've been doing it. And he's got them playing pretty well, right? So no, I think this is the kind of coaching that you can get from him. Is he going to get them to the top of the table? I'm not sure about that, just because it's going to takes a lot more than some good sound coaching. You're going to be able to have to get the talent in as well. So that's why they might get let down. So their depth might be an issue, but on the day, they've been playing some really good, consistent football across the board. So, no, Nuno, I think he is. I mean, he is what we thought he was, I believe, and he's got them playing pretty well. He does. We've seen it. He's had those blips, but in general, they're playing some really good football, and they can surprise anybody on the day. So it's he's got them playing well.
Yeah. Once again, I completely agree with Gary. Nottingham Forest are doing unbelievable stuff. Amazing teamwork. I think Nuno's just that manager that he works out for smaller clubs and he can elevate them because these are the players he can work with. And yes, Spurs might be a small club regardless, but the reason why he didn't do good there is probably just because it's in their DNA. They're just a bottle of clubs. So that's probably why. But now at Nottingham, once again, and he has a few players that are kind of decent and he's elevated them. Hudson-Odoi didn't seem to work out at Chelsea, came to Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, didn't work out as well, scoring bangers left, right, and center against Liverpool. All these teams cutting in, shooting, finishing. Elanga failed at United, scoring. He's got the speed, the strength as well, in behind, assisting. And then obviously the main piece where I say he is the main piece, Morgan Gibbs-White. The way he weighted that pass. Yeah, Jet Spence could have maybe done a bit better, tried to tackle the ball, but the pass was perfectly weighted. And I think the reason why Nottingham I think they would have even been higher, but there was that period where Gibbs-White was injured and they went through a rough patch. And then I think Gibbs-White got a red card as well. So yeah, Nottingham Forest, they're a good team. Even the defense, you're looking at this the left back at Chelsea. Who was at Chelsea? Ola Aina.
Aina, yeah.
Going forward, he's good. Defensively, he's good. Milinkovic as well.
Yeah.
All these man, and even
Brillo.
Sels. So
Yeah.
many people have got him on his FPL because he's good. So it's this team, they can maybe play international football next season. That's where I see them. I think
Mhm.
they're definitely gonna end up the season in the top 8, top 7.
Definitely.
Yeah, and they are really a serious team to face. So I'm glad we beat them comfortably. I don't know how we did that because we just went back to being shit afterwards. But yeah,
But anyway, let's segue because I need to move because it's like 10 to 8 now, and we need to get into the Arsenal game against Ipswich in a minute and get predictions. Man City, Everton, 1-1 draw. I didn't watch the game, I'll be honest with you, but you know, it's another game where I don't know if you guys had the chances to win that game, but you're going to be spoken on, innit? What is going on? You just need a win, isn't it? City just need a win.
Yeah. I'll just speak on it quickly because I think you guys want to speak on Arsenal and got a game to watch, but I don't even want to speak about my club like that. But then again, I tune into the game. First half, like the usual, we control the ball, create a few chances. By the way, Foden had a decent game. Like he was in midfield. I thought like his ability had declined, but I think the passes he was giving, he was involved. He gave a great cross to Gvardiol, heads it onto the post. We could have gone up 1-0 up by then. Eventually, we get a goal. Great work, a bit of luck because it was deflected, kind of ricocheted into the goal, but then we were flying. Had the chance for a 2-0, had a chance, 2 chances actually for Haaland, 1-on-1 with Pickford. Once he tries to dink it, doesn't work. Tries to round the keeper, takes a too heavy touch, doesn't work. And then Bernardo, all the place in the world, inside the box, put on the plate. Foden put it on the plate for him, and he uses the outside of his boot to shoot. And from there, I was just confused. And then Everton, time and again, they came forward. When they did, it was through Ndiaye. He's good. Even against Chelsea, I thought he was good.
Oh, he's good,
Yeah,
he's a good
Yeah,
player.
he's really good. I rate him as well. I mean, poor defending, literally. Circus defending by Akanji. I don't know what he was doing there because the cross wasn't with strength, with speed, but he fails to clear it. And then at the back post, unbelievable finish. And from then on, I think Everton gained confidence because Everton hasn't scored away from home in the last 2 months, but then against us, they do. So, yeah, unbelievable stat right there. We go into the second half. No urgency. Haaland not involved. Savinho, by the way, oh my goodness. Just take a look at what he was doing. The only thing this man lacks, and I'm saying the only thing as if it's something minor, but he just has to start scoring. If he scores once every 3 games, he is, let me just think, he's top 3 wingers in this league if he scores. Obviously, you've got Saka and then
he came to the league, bro.
But
before he came to the league, they were saying this guy, is top.
Exactly, he is top. But then again, he was born in 2004, so maybe we cannot forget like the likes of Yamal and all these players. Those are exceptions. Maybe he just needs time. His all-round game, the way he was skinning players, turning them, and then he won the pen, and you're thinking, yes, this is the one thing, Haaland. The entire game you've been missing chances. Maybe you can do that for us.
Yeah.
But he misses. And then the rebound, he's obviously in offside. I didn't even celebrate that because I knew he was offside. And from then on, I knew this game wasn't meant for us to win. And in the end, by the way, KDB comes on, didn't really do much, unfortunately. Gundogan didn't do much. Ake, our best defender alongside Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is out. Ake had to get subbed off for Simpson Pusey, the academy kid, because he had a knock. He's had something in his hamstring probably again. And we barely created, no urgency. sideways passing, and then Everton, last minute of the game, running alone with 4 man against 2 of our defenders, and no one is tracking back. And that's why I just saw, this team, their head isn't in the game. They just don't care, because if Everton, literally just like, I think that's something an under 15 team should be able to execute. Play a 4 against 2 on a counter. They could have easily won that game at the end, but I think the draw is deserved. Let's not act like Everton should. The draw is deserved. It's fine for both parties, but for us, we just have to change the system, because Pep is playing the same starting 11 every week, the same system every week, and we're losing and losing and losing. And as far as I'm concerned, I know that the saying is don't change a winning team, but not don't change a losing team. So, I mean, you've got to change it up at some point. Bring new players in, hungry children from the academy. I'd take anything, because if we lose with them or with the players right now, I don't really care. But I'm seeing a lot of complacency and heads down. So, that's just how I see it.
Right. We're going to move on to the Arsenal chapter quickly. And thank you for all of that summary, NJ. Make sure, guys, I'm only going to ask you once. Make sure you're subbing to these guys. Their names are in their handles are in my description. All you have to do is just look at the description, click on the link, and it'll take you to their channel. And just all you have to do is click on the subscribe button. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. It's free. And do you know what? It's kind. But moving on to the Arsenal game, AFC always, he shared the lineup with us. Rare in goal, Timber, Skelly, Magalhaes, Saliba at the back, Rice.
No TP5.
Havertz, Odegaard, Trossard, Martin, and Jesus. Obviously, that's the starting lineup. I just want to I read something like what Arteta said earlier. He said, and everyone's been crying about Saka being injured and, we're going to struggle and all this kind of rubbish, but what he said, this is what I expect a manager of Arsenal to say. He said something around the lines of, Saka being injured, this should make me a better manager, and it should make you a better manager, because you know what, we're not Saka FC, we're not FC, we're Arsenal FC, and you should be able to find the solution with Saka being injured now, because if you cannot, I am questioning your credentials already as a manager. So you need to find a way. And we're playing Ipswich tonight. And I'm not going to show Ipswich no disrespect tonight, because you know what, anyone could get it in this league, as you know, anyone could get it. All it takes is a delap, you know what I'm saying, dagger.
Amari Hutchinson, maybe. He's playing against his former club. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not taking this game lightly. Everyone's saying, and you know what? If we do, when everyone said, well, you should have beat, you're going to beat him anyway. No, I don't look at it like that. Because if they win tonight, forget about me talking about any leagues or whatever or anything. This manager will be done, and I will be cursing him. But looking forward to the game. Obviously, that man Havertz is in the team again.
No TP5 in midfield. I would have preferred Havertz up top and then Trossard on the bench. Bring Trossard on later, and then you have Martinelli and Jesus on the wings. Havertz as a striker, and then midfield Rice, TP5, Odegaard, or maybe Marino. I don't know, but
I'm telling you,
Havertz
man.
Havertz in midfield.
This is love child, isn't it?
I feel like Arteta is just, all right, everybody gets to play, and it's like, no. They don't all get to play. You know what I mean? They don't have to all play. Especially, you had something nice there. I mean, I like the fact that the front three's got Martinelli and Jesus on there. Could have been Trossard is probably the most logical choice there, just because we don't have anybody else really. Kai in the middle. Without you have Jorginho, you have Partey. I think that would have pushed Rice up the pitch. We saw what Rice did in the last game, right? He came on. He was so happy not to have to play a 6. You saw it the way he played. It was like, wait, he might even score here, and he scores. You're like, okay, all right. That's if he's going to play up there, he needs to be able to put some pressure on the goalkeeper, and he did. There's no easy games in the Premier League, not for Arsenal, anyways. The way we've been playing, we've seen it. I mean, you look at all the points we've dropped this season. Anybody can have their day against us, so we shouldn't be giving anybody any. We don't give anybody those scares like we did before. Not right now. Not the way we haven't been consistent enough for that. I'm happy to hear Arteta say I got to do better. I got to be able to coach without all my players. I mean that's a coaching 101, managing 101, right? Yes, I want to get the best 11 I can, but I have to rely on my bench and I have to use my bench, all right? So, he in my eyes he failed when Erdegaard was out. He didn't do a good job there figuring out a way to get wins across the line when he either had opportunities or just with a lineup or a structure change, whatever it might be. Saka is an even bigger piece of this pie that this team here. So I think we won't be as one-sided, hopefully, because of it. That's probably the other thing. Arteta, he saw something that works, and he's like, I'm gonna keep going back to that well. Oh, Tayyib, welcome to the show.
Big up Tayyib, man, in the building.
Big up.
I think he likes to be comfortable. Saka's comfortable, right? I just get the ball to him, and something good will happen. Saka's out. What am I going to do? Erdegaard's out. What am I going to do? He kind of gets a little frazzled there. And you know what? Yeah, it's going to make him better, but it's something he needs to have known going into this thing. As soon as Saka over the last 3 years has shown what he's about, there should have been a question in the back of your mind: what happens when I need to take him out? As opposed to he's injured, right? Arteta makes these moves when people are injured. What about when he's not having a good day? What about if they got his number? What about if I keep him in the game? It's just not going to work today. Today might not be the day, right? And you should be able to feel comfortable that you bring somebody off the bench. And I talk about that trust that Slot has with his team, no matter what. I don't think we have that just yet with the squad. Because I don't know. I'm trusting because I'm just seeing the little bits that I can see. But I think Nweri can give us something when we need to get a goal. All right, when we need to get a goal, bring Nweri in there and let him just. I don't care about his defense at that point because we're trying to get a goal. I think Arteta sees it as, you know what, his defense isn't there yet. I can't put him in, and it's like, well, you're losing or it's a draw anyways. Just go get the goal and worry about
defense first.
You know what I mean? Like, no. In some cases, I feel like you got to take a risk. Right? If you're behind a goal, if you're behind a man, whatever the case may be, you need to be trying to get a win out of it. So this is one of those again where he's going to have to. We're down a man, but we're not down. We're not down a man. We still got 11 players on the pitch, so he's going to have to make it work with what we got, and he's got to hype these guys up. They should be coming in ready to go. We scored 8 goals in the last 2 games. Who cares who is against? Not too many teams do 8 goals in 2 games, right? That's not something that happens all the time. So when it happens, you should work. You should be building on that. I always say you got to bring in. You don't want to bring a loss into the next game, and this one you want to bring in what you just did the last 2 games, right? Because we can say we probably could have scored more than the 8. That's how and that's where we need to bring into this game, right? I think we're playing home, right? So
yeah,
we're playing at home. Let's send their fans home early. Go home and get ready for the new year. That's kind of how this. Let's bring on some of our back. Think about it. We got our bench defensively solid, so these defensive players can go out there and just go do whatever. They don't have to worry about it. Defensively we're sound, no matter who we bring on. We've shown it all season. So let these guys go out there and play some defense and put in extra work if they need to, and let the offensive players have a little bit of freedom. That's kind of how I see it. Let them ball out, and then defensively you're solid anyways. And if they get tired, you got so many answers on the bench.
Definitely.
Pretty much every spot defensively, right? So it should be a manageable game, comfortable game, hopefully. But that's on these players and whatnot.
give us a quick prediction before we lock off this, because it's going to start in, I think, just 8 minutes time. So give us a quick score prediction.
Yeah. For me, I mean, we just did 5-1. I'm going 4-0 in this one. Let's keep it clean sheet. I know. I'm going by. I like going by trends, and you just show me what you just showed me, right? So why not build on that? And to build on that, we got to keep a clean sheet, and we should be able to get goals wherever we need to. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We haven't got a set piece goal. Maybe we get one of those to open things up, and then it's all over at that point. If we can,
if we score early, it could be curtains. But I don't want us going into this game thinking like the players thinking, "Oh, this is easy," because you know what? When you got that mindset, then you know what, shocks can happen. But I'm gonna go for a 3-1 victory. What about you, NJ?
Yeah, I don't know, because I genuinely think it might be a battering, but then again, you never know. So I want to get my prediction right this time around, so I'll probably go with 4-1.
4-1. Wicked. Guys in the chat, let us know what your predictions are. I'm going to be doing a watch along. I don't know what DWT, what you got coming up. Are you doing a watch along as well?
Yeah, I usually jump on a channel and do a watch along Mr. Arsenal podcast. So that's usually where I go for my watch along. So
follow him as well. Yeah, and make sure you guys go and follow Sky Blue NJ as well. Yeah, the biggest, you know what I mean? Yeah, youngster. I won't even say even youngster. Man. Say like the biggest up and coming City content creator in the build. Hey, I love your content, NJ. I'm not even just saying it, bro. I just love your quick shorts and
I appreciate it.
It's just banging, bro. It's just
no, it's been fun chatting with you. It's been fun chatting. It's been fun chatting with you. I assume if City was where they were last season, you might feel a little different about the way football is right now.
Yeah.
They're making you struggle right now.
I wouldn't even be able to talk to him. I wouldn't even be able to talk to him. If City was just cruising, I wouldn't be able to talk to him. He'd just be like, you know what, But it's coming again next season, you know what I mean, for these man, because I don't think Pep's just going to allow this one season to just, you know what I mean, there's going to be a lot of reflection during the summer. And they're going to be strong again next season. Yeah, let's not doubt that. Do you know what I mean? But listen, people. Yeah, we're going to wrap up. 5 minutes to the game. Hope you enjoy the game, people. Thank you all those that were in the chat today and that contributed and everything. Yeah, you've been listening to Honest Rivals. You've been watching Honest Rivals. Peace and love, and make sure you have a great new year, people. We out.